Hello, hello. My name is Robin Whitworth, and I am the facilitator of the Elevated Mother Experience. And I have with me today Becca Ingersoll, and she is amazing. I probably say that a lot, but I feel completely privileged, honored. Like I recognize the space I get to have a front row seat on someone's life is not something everybody gets or deserves. And to have a client like Becca, who has just been so vulnerable, so truthful, just ready to change her life and go in with both feet. And it's just been such an honor. It's been such a fun experience to see her growth and see her goals and see what's happening. Becca, tell us a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like. Are you married? Do you have kids? What does it look like so people kind of get an idea of who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am married. I'm 36 years old. I've been married for almost 16 years, and we have twin 5-year-old boys, Lincoln and Logan. And I graduated college and taught English junior high and also was the school librarian for several years. But then a little bit after my boys were born, I stopped working and have been a stay-at-home mom since.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. And her boys are so cute. It's been fun to follow your family more closely as we've been on this journey together. What were you finding the most challenging in achieving kind of that abundance in your life, that personal peace, the peace in your home? Just what was challenging that kind of brought you into my space?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt kind of stuck. That seems kind of like a cliche, but I had a lot of big ideas and dreams and goals that I wanted to accomplish in life. But every year I would get frustrated because at the end of the year I hadn't made much progress toward those goals. So like writing more and eating healthier, losing weight, having a more organized home was a big one. Um, like I'm not a messy person by any means, but I definitely wanted to know exactly where everything is and just feel more calm in my home. Um, and I found that I was a lot of the time making excuses because of my life circumstances that for why I wasn't reaching these goals. Um, and I like life circumstances, for example, my one of my 5-year-old twins just completed treatment for cancer. And so he's done, he's in remission. It's so exciting. But things like that were I was using as excuses for why it was fine to not work toward my goals. But I knew that Lincoln's treatment was coming to an end, and I felt like this was the year that I wanted to truly work on improving and reaching for those big goals. And I felt like I would have more success with a life coach. I've never had a life coach before. I'm still a little bit surprised that I signed up for this program, but so happy that I did, that I took that leap of faith because I've seen, I don't know, huge leaps in my, I don't know, my mindset shifts,
Mhm.
even in just the last 8 weeks.
Um, you mentioned a little bit about how you never had a coach before. Was there any other hesitations, like about either getting help, investing, the time? Like as a mom, those are really common hesitations. Did you have any of those, or were there ones that that you want to share or anything?
Yeah, the cost was definitely one. I've never, like, other than like paying for my education, net like in college, haven't invested a lot of money in myself, like for as far as like self-improvement, other than buying books and things like that. So that was one, especially not knowing for sure how the results would be. Um, but I can't remember exactly what you said in one of your posts. You were talking about um just be I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was something along the lines of like caring about yourself enough to make this investment in yourself and try to become who you really want to be, your true self. I thought, yeah, I've done a lot for other people. I'm going to for myself this time.
So that was was that the only hesitation you had, was just kind of
And
that
then another one was probably, like, I feel guilty saying this still, but like limiting beliefs in the past of just like back in the day, like I would think of life coaches as, it's kind of like a punchline and a joke from Gilmore Girls, like Paris had a life coach, I'm like, do I really need a life coach? And I know that, just wondering about what other people would think if I say just every week I have an appointment with my life coach or whatever, but I got over that really quickly.
That's great. I love that you even said, like, wondering about how you would approach someone if they heard you say, I have this life coach appointment every week. Like, how does that feel to me? What does that mean to me? And I know there's many clients or potential clients that wonder about that as well. So I'm super glad that you brought that up, that is even people that decide to do it, like that is a thing that they feel. So with those hesitations and with those goals, what's the experience been like? Not necessarily so much the results, and I'll ask about that in a second, but what's it been like? So people are wondering what it's going to be like. What is it
Mm-hmm.
like?
It feels like I'm steadily making progress toward what I want to do and become, but I'm not on my own. So I have you as my coach. I have a one-on-one meeting with you every week, but we also have a group of other amazing women who are pursuing their goals, and we rely on each other to kind of be cheerleaders for one another and offer tips that maybe individually we wouldn't have come up with on our own. And it's kind of just been, like I've told you, I had read a lot of self-help books in the past. Like that, I read a lot of everything, but I read a lot of self-help books and I had favorites and I had highlighted them. And so I felt like I knew everything I was supposed to do. I knew about affirmations, I knew about meditating, I knew about a lot of things. But this program has helped me not feel stupid to ask little questions and become clearer on what I'm supposed to do, and kind of just leading me by the hand step by step, where I would get overwhelmed or not know what to do, so just not try it before.
I love that. So then tell us, is there one or two specific results that have happened? I mean, this is a testimonial of the first like 2 months of the 6 months, but a couple of things you can pinpoint, like that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been in this program. Like what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. The first one that comes to mind, I started seeing like within a month of the program, was that I didn't dread the day. Like dread might be too big of a word, but or harsh of a word, but like I used to, like taking care of two little kids that are little tornado twins is exhausting. And so I would before find myself counting down the hours till 5 or 6 o'clock when my husband would be home to help. And I mean, every once in a while I have a day like that now, but overall, the mood is just lighter in the house, and I've been able to I have more energy and just a more positive outlook on my day-to-day tasks. So I enjoy my time with my boys more. I'm not dreading the housework nearly as much. I just get it done, things like that. And then another thing that I've seen is my mind just went blank. What was the question again?
The results, like a couple
The
of
results.
specific results. And so you
Yeah.
mentioned the home.
So the other big one is just progress toward my goals. So all three of my goals, my annual goals, are things that I've made progress toward, where like more significant progress than I would have ever guessed in just 2 months. So yeah.
That's amazing. It's been so fun.
I
It's
agree.
amazing. Now when we think about these results and the progress that you've made, and these specific things that you're like, oh my gosh, I see this happening. What does that mean to you? when you see this stuff happening, what does that mean to you?
It means that this program works, honestly. And like there were, like I've read books, like we've talked about Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert before, and like you hear about the law of attraction and things coming into your life at the right moment and like manifesting your dreams and things like that. But like through this program, you're doing a lot of those things. And in the planner that you give us, like there's a section called Book of Proof where you can write down evidence that, yes, it's not just me thinking that it's working, like this happened and it wouldn't have otherwise. This is happening, this is happening. And I fill things out in that every day. So yeah, it just means that it works.
And what about on a personal level? Like to see these things happening to you is, how does that feel for these areas you wanted to feel more peace in? Your home, relationships with other people, your spouse. This kind of progress and understanding this kind of process, what does that mean is going to happen for you? Like, what does it mean on a personal level?
I feel like it's already given me a lot of tools that will be with me from now on. So like if I encounter something that for example, I had an example on Saturday, like if I am going into something that is going to be a trigger and I know it's going to be a trigger, I have tools of how to combat that, or I will hopefully reach my goals this year, and I think I will. And then it will be a new year, and I'll want to set new goals, and I will know how to set them and work backwards to make the goals manageable on a day-to-day basis. And I can teach those skills to my kids. And like I said, I'm more energetic and more filled with peace in general. So that translates over to the house and anyone that comes in it.
Love it. I love that. The last question is, if there is a woman that's similar to you, she's got a couple little kids, she's maybe an aspiring author or someone that feels like they had a lot of success before. I know we've talked about that, where you feel like you kind of peaked at these different seasons of your life and wanted to feel that again. There's a woman that's kind of like that. She's considering this program. What would you say to her? Like if you had just a couple minutes with her, what would you say to her about that?
I would say absolutely go for it and sign up with Robin. Um, as long as you're working on the program and not just doing it half-heartedly, you will see results. You'll reach your goals, and you're worth it to put the time into yourself and your own goals.
Isn't that the truth? Like once we take that, and it's interesting, you mentioned the hesitation on the price, and then what you would say to someone coming in, how much that first choice is actually part of the program.
Yeah.
That first decision to say, yes, I'm doing this for me.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I've priced it where it's at, because those women, they get to come in and do that for themselves.
Right.
And it's their first energetic shift. And so it's really awesome to have seen that you've seen that, like that was something you needed to see, something you took a step forward on, and that you would tell someone the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful, really, really beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know Absolutely. That you have a lot going on, and taking the time to share this with us is awesome. So thank you so, so much.
Thanks, Robin.